Hello and welcome to Code Culture. My name is Michele and I'm your host. Today I'm going to offer you a comparison of three of the most successful Barbour jacket for men of the past 45 years. I have here the Bedale jacket, the Beaufort jacket, and the Ashby jacket. So the objective for me today is to try and explain to you what the differences of these jackets are, what the best use of these jackets are, why you should buy one and why you should not buy another one, depending on what you're looking for. I have reviewed all of these jackets individually, and you can find those reviews in the links below or clicking on the playlist link that you can find somewhere on the screen right now. Perhaps you don't own a Barbour and you're trying to determine which one is the best for you, or perhaps you already have one of these three jackets and you don't know if it's worth to add another one to your collection. And by the way, if you're new here, welcome. I review jackets, mostly Barbour, Bell stuff, and motorcycle jackets every week, more or less. And if this is something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel because it helps us a lot. First, let's start with some stats. I am a 40 regular in all of my clothings. The Barbour Bedale is a 40 regular. The Barbour Beaufort is a 40 regular. The Ashby is actually an extra large. These three jackets were launched by Barbour at different points in time, and they were launched with a different type of clientele in mind. The Barbour Bedale was the first one to be launched. It was launched in 1980, and the idea at the time was to provide a lightweight jacket that could be used while horse riding or while doing chores around the barn. So this is both a horse riding jacket and a chore jacket. The Barbour Beaufort was launched a couple of years later, and it was launched with the hunter in mind. So a lot of the features of these jackets were designed to be useful in a hunting situation. The Ashby jacket is the most recent of these three. It was actually launched in 2011. And it was offered as a redesign, as a modernization of the Bedale that was launched in the 1980s. So it has a lot of the same features, but it has a very different fit. Although these jackets were designed with different clienteles in mind, and they do offer somewhat different features, the reality is that unless you are a hunter, unless you are somebody who rides horses and you're looking specifically for a hunting jacket or a horse riding jacket, these three jackets offer pretty much the same type of features and versatility. And that's why these three jackets are really the options that most people approaching Barbour look at first. The pricing is very similar. We are at $415 for the Bedale jacket in America, $435 for the Beaufort, and less than $400 for the Ashby. So the Ashby is a little cheaper, but the price is really not a differentiating factor. Now let's talk about the features of these jackets, and let's start with the similarities, with the elements that all of these jackets share. First of all of these jackets are made of the same material, which is the 6-ounce wax cotton, which you can find in pretty much 90% of Barbour jackets. All of these jackets have very large bellow pockets in the front, and all of these jackets have hand-warming pockets, which are lined with moleskin, which is very nice to the touch. All of these jackets have a corduroy collar, which is made of the same material. And all of these collars provide the opportunity for you to attach the hood, which is sold separately by Barbour in all of these collars. All of these jackets also have an internal zipper, which allows you to zip the internal liner made out of pile that Barbour sells separate. All of these jackets use the same hardware for the main zippers, and all of these zippers are bidirectional. Now let's talk about the differences among these jackets. I mentioned before that all three jackets are made with the same material, the 6-ounce wax cotton. However, they are treated differently. The wax treatment on the Bedale and the Beaufort is the so-called thorn-proof treatment, whereas the treatment on the Ashby is the so-called silk-oil treatment. There are many differences between these two treatments, but the most important ones to know is that the thorn-proof treatment that you can find on the Beaufort and the Bedale makes the jacket way more resistant and gives the jacket that classic shiny look that in many people it's associated with the Barbour. The thorn-proof treatment also provides a lot more waterproofness. Now, the silk oil treatment, on the other hand, gives the jacket a more worn look. It has more of a matte finish, and it is also a little less water resistant. And on the flip side, the silk oil treatment normally provides some extra warmth to the jacket. So if you're looking for a jacket that can protect you better from the rain, the Bedale and the Beaufort would be more appropriate, whereas the Ashby would be a little less appropriate for that. I mentioned before that all of these jackets have the same bellow pockets and the same hand-warming pockets, but there is a jacket that shines in terms of pockets, and that jacket is the Beaufort. The Beaufort has one of my favorite pockets of any jacket. It has this chest pocket, which is under the flap right here, which you can access without unzipping your jacket. This is actually really important when it's cold or when it's raining. If you use this pocket to put your keys or to put your phone or a wallet, that means that you don't have to unzip your jacket to reach for whatever you put in this pocket. None of the other jackets have these pockets, and I actually really like these pockets on the Beaufort. The Beaufort also has a gigantic game pocket in the back that goes from side to side. Now, because this jacket was designed with the hunter in mind, the game pocket was added so that when you were out hunting and you shot a bird or a rabbit, you would be able to put it back here in this game pocket, and your hands would still be free to shoot some more. In the review that I've done for this jacket, you will see that I've actually used this game pocket to transport books when I was a university student, to transport groceries. So it actually gives a lot more practicality to the Beaufort. I believe that in terms of practicality, the Beaufort is the jacket to go. If you're looking for a jacket where you can store a lot of things in, let's say you are a photographer and you don't want to carry a backpack and you're looking for something that you can, put all your stuff in pockets, this is the jacket to go. The reason why neither the Bedale nor the Ashby have that game pocket is because they are a horse riding jackets. And because they are a horse riding jackets, they don't have the game pocket, but they have these flaps in the back that you can open and that they would allow you to sit more comfortably on the horse. Now, again, you may not be a horse riding, but if you're looking for a jacket that you can wear while you're bicycling, probably the Bedale and the Ashby might be a better buy compared to the Beaufort from that point of view. Because by opening those flaps, you can actually sit on a bicycle more comfortably. Or perhaps you carry a little more weight around your waist and you want something that is a little wider around your waist. Definitely the Bedale would be the right choice in that case. Now, another major difference between these three jackets is the length of the jacket. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this from here, but the Bedale jacket is sensibly shorter than the Beaufort jacket. I literally have 4 fingers of difference between the Bedale and the Beaufort. Whereas the Ashby and the Beaufort are pretty much the same length. Now remember, Bedale and Beaufort are 40 regular, this is an XL. The Ashby is an XL. This difference in length is substantial if you're trying to wear a sport coat or a suit under your jacket. And I'll show you in a minute when we talk about the fit. Another small difference I want to mention is the fact that the corduroy on the Ashby is actually thinner than the corduroy on both the Beaufort and the Bedale. It doesn't make much of a difference, but I actually find it more pleasant to the touch when you lift the collar and you put it around your neck. Another difference between the three jackets are the cuffs. The Ashby has the same corduroy that I just mentioned around the cuffs, but it has no way to actually close the cuff. The Beaufort has a Velcro system of closure inside the sleeve, whereas the Bedale has knit cuffs of the same color of the jacket. Personally, I like the Beaufort and the Ashby better, just because I find that the knit cuff on the Bedale bothers me with my watch. I normally wear large watches, and this knit cuffs bothers me. But that's very much a me problem. But if you're wearing large watches, something to keep in mind. Another difference among these three jackets has to do with the liner. The liner of the Bedale and of the Ashby jacket is made of cotton for the most part, but at the bottom of the jacket there is a large section made of polyester on both the Bedale and the Ashby. And the reason is that these jackets were designed with horse riding in mind, and this part of the jacket is the part that could get in contact with a sweaty horse. So the idea was to make sure that this sweat, this humidity, would not transfer to the rest of the jacket. However, there is a difference between the liner on the Bedale and the liner on the Ashby. Excluding the polyester part at the bottom, the Bedale jacket has a 100% liner also through the sleeves. So there is no more polyester other than the one used at the bottom of the jacket. On the contrary, the liner of the Ashby is cotton around the back and chest area, but it is made of polyester also on the sleeves. I've heard people say that this is by design so that this jacket can be worn more easily. I don't buy it. I think they actually did it simply to save money, and personally I don't like it. Finally, I will mention that both the Bedale and the Beaufort are made in the UK, whereas the Ashby is made in Moldova. Now, this does not mean that the Ashby is not as good quality as the Beaufort or the Bedale. However, I do have a problem with companies like Barbour that charges UK prices for products manufactured in countries where labor is much cheaper than in the UK. I have no problem believing that the labor skills of Moldovan people are on par with the labor skills of people in the UK. But the reality is that Barbour manufactures the Ashby in Moldova to save money. However, these savings are not passed on to the consumer because the price of the Ashby is pretty much the same as the price of the Bedale and Beaufort, which are made in the UK. Now let's talk about the fit of these jackets. And I am now wearing a sport coat because I want to show you how the three different jackets behave when you try and wear them wearing also a sport coat or a suit. Let's start with the Bedale. Now you will notice that the Bedale jacket has a very loose fit. I'm actually very comfortable right now, even wearing a sport coat. But you will notice immediately that the Bedale is very short. And what that means is that your sport coat or your suit coat will actually be visible under the jacket. I really don't like it. I don't think this is a jacket that can be worn with a sport coat or a suit. And to me, that limits the practicality and the versatility of this coat. So it's something to keep in mind if you're thinking of wearing your Barbour to go to work and your work requires, for instance, that you wear a jacket or a suit. But if you don't want to wear it with a suit, then the Bedale is a great jacket as well. Now let's look at a Beaufort jacket. First thing that you will notice is that the Beaufort covers my sport coat completely. The sport coat is not doing any peekaboo from underneath. So this is a jacket that you can both dress down and wear with jeans or with any other casual outfits that you want, or you can wear with a sport coat and a suit. You will notice that the fit is pretty loose again. I have plenty of space moving around. I have absolutely no problem. And it's a very comfortable and pleasant jacket. Now let's look at the Ashby jacket. And the first thing that I want you to notice is that this jacket covers again my sport coat completely. So this is again a jacket that you can wear with a sport coat. However, you will notice that this jacket has a much tighter fit compared to both the Bedale and the Beaufort jacket. Now, I can wear it with a sport coat like I'm doing now. However, I don't because I find that it's too restrictive when I do it. So although you really can wear, in theory, this jacket with a sport coat, it really depends on your body type. Barbour, for the Ashby jacket, recommends that you go up one size. And as I said, this is an XL, and normally I would be a large instead, medium large. The Ashby was actually presented as a redesigned, modernized Bedale jacket, and the idea was to provide the same features, but in a more modernized look, in a more modernized fit, which in this case simply means a much tighter fit. But again, it's a jacket that you can wear over a sport coat, so in terms of versatility, I would say it definitely beats the Bedale. Now let's talk about the problems of these jackets. Some of these problems and issues that you will encounter are common to any Barbour jackets. Some are specific to each of these jackets. Let's start with the common problems. First of all, we need to talk about wax migration. These are wax cotton jackets, and what that means is that waxing treatment that makes the jacket waterproof may migrate to other fabric. This can happen on your jeans, it can happen on your shirt, and it can definitely happen if you have fabric car seats. It's something to keep in mind. It happens not only when the jacket is new, but every time that you rewax the jacket. And that actually is the second issue to be mindful of. These jackets need care and attention regularly because you will need to reapply the waxing treatments regularly. Now, what regularly means is completely dependent on how often you wear them and how you wear them. If you wear this jacket once a week, you're probably going to be fine not rewaxing them for a few years. If you wear these jackets every day and you also carry a backpack or a bag that rubs the wax in a specific point, then you might have to rewax them every 6 months. I've actually done a video with recommendations on how to take care of your Barbour jackets that you can find clicking here or the link below. So have a look at that if you want more information. Now let's talk about issues specific to each of these jackets. Let's start with the Bedale. My issue with the Bedale is that the fit of the Bedale is shaped almost like a bell. And what that means is that it's very, very wide at the bottom. And because it's very short, you have a lot of wind coming from underneath. When I wear this jacket and it's just moderately cold, not even that cold, I have a lot of cold air coming from underneath. So if you're looking for a jacket that is a warm jacket for the winter, this is really not it. Talking about the Beaufort, I think that the only really issue with the Beaufort specific to this jacket is that the fit is probably the one that looks the most dated. I actually like it. I have an emotional attachment to Barbour Beauforts because I've owned one for over 30 years, not this one. And I don't mind this outdated look. If anything, it's what it endears it to me. But it is true that this jacket is not as sleek as other jackets are, or even as the Ashby is. But the Ashby has problems of its own, and I think that the problems with the Ashby are the worst, to be honest. The Ashby has this stitching on the sleeves that makes it completely useless in the rain because the water will seep through after very little time spent in the rain. And you should ask me how I know. So if you're looking for a jacket that can protect you from the rain, this isn't it. And it's a pity because this is actually the warmer jacket, and the fit would be perfect to protect you also in the winter. Another problem, though, with the Ashby is that, as I mentioned, the liner on the sleeve is polyester, and this will make you sweat even when it's moderately warm. So this polyester really strongly reduces the versatility and the usability of this jacket. Okay, so which jacket is right for you? Why should you buy one and not the other? Let me try and help you. If you're looking for a jacket that you can wear in an office space, for instance, that requires you to wear a suit or a sport coat, I would not look at the Bedale jacket. I would definitely only look at the Beaufort and the Ashby jacket. If you're looking for a jacket that can protect you from the rain, like you're looking at a raincoat, I would not look at the Ashby jacket, but I would look at the Beaufort and the Bedale jacket, especially the Beaufort just because it's longer. If you're looking for a jacket that can protect you when it's really cold and it's not particularly rainy where you live, the Ashby jacket would be my pick. If it rains though, I would definitely pick the Beaufort. I would not consider the Bedale jacket a jacket for cold weather just because of the way that it's so large at the bottom and it lets so much air to pass underneath. Now, this is all in abstract terms because a lot depends from your body type. If you are severely overweight, the Ashby jacket will not be for you. The fit is very tight, and I think the sizes are limited. I think it goes up to XXL if I'm not mistaken, and I'm already an XL. So really depending on your body type, the Ashby might not be the best option. If you have very short legs, probably the Beaufort is not the best option either because it's actually the longest jacket and it will make your legs look even shorter. If you're very tall and you have extremely long legs, the Bedale is probably not your best friends either. So it really depends on your body type. If you ask me which one is my favorite jacket, I would have to probably pick the Beaufort as my favorite and probably the Ashby as my number 2 jacket, but only because I own the Beaufort already, if it makes sense. If I did not own any of these jackets and I had to choose just one, I would choose the Bedale or the Beaufort, and I would definitely pick the Beaufort over the Bedale. However, in terms of which are my favorite jackets, I would put Beaufort first, Ashby second, just for the fit, and the Bedale third. And the reason why the Bedale is third is because I don't like how much air it lets through in the winter. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I helped you decide which of these 3 jackets is the best for you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you soon.